Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kyle Lai. I'm the President and Chief Information Security Officer at KLC Consulting. Today, we're going to do a quick overview on Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or CMMC. The information we talk about today is going to be based on CMMC version 1.02. So what is CMMC? CMMC stands for Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. CMMC is designed to provide increased assurance to the DoD that the defense industrial-based contractors can adequately protect, control unclassified information, or CUI, at a level commensurated with the risk and accounting for information flow down to its subcontractors in a multi-tier supply chain. CMMC encompasses 5 maturity levels that ranges from basic cyber hygiene, which is for level 1, good cyber hygiene, which is for level 3, and advanced and progressive for level 5. In order to handle controlled unclassified information, or CUI, an organization must be CMMC level 3 or above. DoD will specify the required CMMC level for each contract in the RFI, or Request for Information, and RFP, the Request for Proposal. So why is CMMC being created? There are a lot of malicious cyber activities that are costing US up to $109 billion per year, and they are targeting defense industrial-based companies, which we have about 300,000 of them. DoD plans to assess and enhance the cybersecurity posture of the DIB companies, which includes all the DoD prime and subcontractors. CMMC is intended to serve as a verification mechanism to ensure appropriate level of cybersecurity practices and processes are in place to ensure basic cyber hygiene, as well as to protect control unclassified information, the CUI. So who needs to get CMMC? Pretty much all DIB companies, the prime and the subcontractors working on the DoD contracts, must get CMMC. If a DIB company does not possess CUI, it is still required to meet FAR Clause 52.204-21, which is to safeguard federal contract information, or FCI, and must be certified at a minimum of CMMC level 1. For subcontractors, the level of CMMC is dependent upon the type and the nature of the information flow down from their prime contractor. There is an exception. Companies that solely produce commercial off-the-shelf, or COTS, products do not require the CMMC certification. So what is COTS? COTS is software and hardware that already exists and that is available from commercial sources, for example, Microsoft Office products. So who will perform CMMC assessments? Only CMMC third-party assessment organizations, C3PAO, or individual assessors that have been accredited by the CMMC accreditation body, or CMMC-AB, can perform the official CMMC assessments. CMMC assessment services are expected to become available in the 4th quarter of 2020. KLC Consulting has submitted an application to become C3PAO. Once certified as a C3PAO, we will support organizations that are ready for the final assessments. So let's take a look at the CMMC model framework. CMMC model framework consists of maturity processes and the cybersecurity best practices from multiple cybersecurity standards, framework, and other references. It organizes these processes and practices into a set of 17 domains and map them across 5 maturity levels. So what are these 17 capability domains? They are access control, asset management, awareness and training, audit and accountability, configuration management, identification and authentication, incident response, maintenance, media protection, personnel security, physical protection, recovery, risk management, security assessment, situational awareness, system and communication protection, and finally, system and information integrity. Let's take a quick look at processes, concept, and the definitions. The CMMC levels and the associated set of processes and practices are cumulative. A process is a specific procedural activity that is required and performed to achieve the capability level. Processes detail maturity of institutionalization of the practices. A practice is a specific technical activity or activities that are required and performed to achieve a specific level of cybersecurity maturity for a given capability within a domain. And for level one requires an organization to perform 17 specific practices and may or may not rely on documentation. Process maturity is not assessed for level 1. At level 2, it requires an organization to establish and document practices and policies to guide the implementation of their CMMC efforts. The documentation of practices enable individuals to perform them in a repeatable manner. At the level 3, it requires an organization to establish, maintain, and resource a plan to demonstrate the management of activities for practice implementation. The plan may include information on missions, goals, project plans, resourcing, required training, and the involvement of relevant stakeholders. At level 4, it requires an organization to review and measure practices for effectiveness. Organizations at level 4 are able to take corrective actions when necessary and inform their higher level management of status or issues on a recurring basis. At level 5, it requires an organization to standardize and optimize process implementation across the organization. Let's take a look at the practices. For level 1 practices, the goal is to establish a basic cyber hygiene to safeguard federal contract information, or FCI. For level 2, the goal is to establish intermediate cyber hygiene and moving towards level 3. For level 3, the goal is to establish good cyber hygiene to protect, control unclassified information, or CUI. For level 4, the goal is to be proactive on protecting CUI from advanced persistent threats, the APTs. For level 5, the goal is also to protect CUI from APTs and to increase the depth and the sophistication of cybersecurity capabilities. And for level 1, there are 17 practices. Level 2, you have 72. Level 3, you have 130 practices. Level 4, you have 156. And for level 5, you have 171 practices. So how do you prepare for CMMC assessments? You want to get it started as early as possible. It will take time and dedicated resources and the investment to implement good cybersecurity practices and processes. You want to stay up to date with the official CMMC website and also CMMC accreditation body website. You probably also want to research the CMMC level and the type of information that may apply to the work your organization does or may seek to do with the DoD or prime contractors in the future. You might also consider getting professional help from third-party organizations such as KLC Consulting. We provide expert advisory services to help your organization prepare for CMMC. So how can we help? We will help you understand the CMMC requirements. We will review your existing contracts and your future plans. We will then perform gap analysis and work with you to design and implement processes and practices that is required by your CMMC level. KLC consultants have extensive experience in risk management framework, which is RMF, NIST 853, 800-171, and cybersecurity framework, as well as thorough knowledge about the latest CMMC certification requirements. If you have a need or have any questions about CMMC, please feel free to contact us. You can send us an email at cmmc@klcconsulting.net or visit our website. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining us today.